Hey guys, it's Trisha, the Left-Handed Stitcher. I'm here tonight to do a quick video to show you how I will join multiple pages of a pattern together if that's something that the pattern dictates to me that needs to be done. This is a pattern that was created for our Cross Stitches Fun Stitch What's House Crust Challenge. That's a mouthful. The pattern was released in a color block format, which I don't do if I can help it, so I converted it into a black and white with symbols type pattern. And the size grid that I like to work with means that it printed out over multiple pages, like so. And because it's not much larger than a single sheet of paper, I will just join these together and then I mount it to either a piece of mat board or foam cord, depending on what size it ends up being. And I am going to show you my process as I do it tonight. So the tools that I like to use are a standard scrapbooking adhesive runner. You can use this and you can find it any craft store. Even the little tiny scrapbooking aisle at Walmart will give you something like this. You can also use standard double-sided tape. The reason I like to use this as opposed to this is this lays down a layer of adhesive, just the adhesive. This is a strip of cellophane with adhesive on both sides. So if you use this, you get a little bit of bulk. So that's the difference between the two. In addition, I just a pair of paper snips. Occasionally I'll need regular Scotch tape, but not always. And sometimes I will use paper trimmer if I have long straight cuts to make. So let's get started, and what I'll do first is kind of plan out how it needs to go. Now I know that since there's only a little bit on these two pages, I'm just going to lop off that extra bit with my paper trimmer real quick. And if I hold them together, they'll be even. So just like so. Alright. So now put that away. And on this one, I can't just cut straight up because of this here. So what I'll do real quick is just trim up with my paper snips up to it, and then I will cut it out. Like so. And then this part I'll actually trim it out and tape it to the back of whatever I mount the pattern to, so I have easy reference to the color legend. So the first thing now is deciding which part will overlap on top of the other one, and I think I'll keep this as the base layer and make this the part that sits on top. So what I need to do is run a line of adhesive down this edge right here as close to the edge of the gridding as I can, preferably not over, because then you'll have sticky parts showing. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And my tape runner is just a little bit wider than the margin I left on here, so I'm going to have just a tiny little bit of adhesive that got on the table, and that's easy enough to remedy. Just rub it until it balls up. And I'll know to stick an extra piece of paper under the next one I do. Alright, so there we go. So now this side is ready. I'm going to take this side and I'm going to cut the margin off this one. I'm going to trim it as close to, but not cutting off that last grid line. And oh, those are good paper snips, but these are better paper snips. These are newer, so I like to use these for detailed cutting. I do this with a pair of snips instead of a paper trimmer because I find I can get more exact to that line this way than I can with a trimmer. And you notice one little hint for cutting paper, long sections of paper, cut down but stop before the tip of your scissors cuts through the paper, and then open the scissors up and slide it forward. That'll stop it from getting those jagged edges that you'll see if you are cutting something fast. Alright, so now what I do is I figure out the best angle I need to be at, and I simply lay this on top of that adhesive edge and get it lined up as best as I can. So you're probably going to see the top of my head as I get in here to view it. Now sometimes I can get it exact, sometimes it's just a little off. That's fine, my eye can follow that. So there it is, joined to the other page like so. Now I'm going to do these two pieces the same way. And like I said, let me grab an extra piece of paper so I'm not having to clean up my desktop. I get that set, and I'll trim up this edge. Just like so. And again, orient it so I can get the best angle to make sure I'm lining it up just perfect. Alright, maybe if I can go this way this time. Yeah, this will help me get it right up to its neighbor and make sure the grid lines are, the side lateral grid lines are even. Alright, so there it is, and I can probably just trim off this section right here. So, alright, so now all I need to do is add these two pieces together, and what I'll do is I'll keep this as the base layer and make this the overlap. So let's turn this piece of paper over. You know what? I will just get another piece. And again, tape runner. Now if you do get this tape runner over into the grid a little bit, it's okay. When you've got it all together, all you have to do is rub it with your finger to get it to come up. And I stopped there, so let's continue. On across. Alright. There we are. And this one, let's move this this off to the side so I don't get stuck on it. I gotta cut this nice long piece off. The part where it's joined is a little thicker, so there's just a little bit of resistance there. Alright, there we go. So now I position this, and I think this time I can do it better upside down. Get this positioned so that all the grid lines match up. And stick it down. There we are. Now I run my finger across, to burnish it down to the adhesive, and also make sure that there's no adhesive that sticks up. So as you can see, now you have a pattern that is in one piece, and upside down, in one piece. And that'll be a lot easier to stitch from for me. Now the Scotch tape will come in handy if on the back the margin on the bottom layer is wider than your tape runner. So that little flange that's left, I'll just put a piece of Scotch tape over top of it to keep it from catching on stuff. Alright, so there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and stick it to its mounting, whatever I choose, and I'll come back and show you real quick. Alright, so here it is. It got mounted on some foam core because I don't have mat board pieces big enough for it, but it's on a nice solid surface so I can do my highlighting, and it's nice and portable too. And on the back is the color legend. Normally I just throw a piece of packing tape over the top, but since I'm planning to make some substitutions, I used a tape runner on the back of the paper and then just stuck it down, so then I have open paper area to annotate my changes on. So there she is, ready to go. Well, I hope this was helpful for you guys, and we'll see you next time. Happy stitching!